I have a problem. That problem is that I'm really bad at finishing projects. Recently, work on my survival game has ground to a halt. This is mostly because I talked about it in a job interview and got the ick. I will get back to it, but in the meantime, I thought I'd work on something small and self contained. In my experience, game jams are a great way to finish a game, but often the final product isn't of the best quality, and almost always corners have been cut that make future development impractical without significant refactoring. So I decided to give myself the challenge to make a good quality game that I could finish and release in a short period of time. Because my goal for this was to finish the game, I decided to plan everything before I started to do any development to minimise feature creep and to try not to add any new ideas until after I'd finished. Usually I come up with tasks as I develop, but doing it this way actually worked really well and helped keep me on track. It also made me want to plan the entire game when I start future projects, but I won't stop myself from adding new ideas to the board with a larger project. When I was coming up with the idea for this game, I wanted to try and come up with something that I could completely finish as quickly as possible, but still had a good amount of playtime. I ended up settling on an idle game based on that 2048 game that was really popular back in the day. This was for a few reasons. I really like making art for games, but it can take a while if I want the game to look well polished. At the planning stage, I actually didn't think there'd be any art and I was just going to use emojis to save time, but I ended up making icons myself because the emojis looked terrible. It's a very simple game. I felt that combining two addictive genres would make for a lot of gameplay. To make it an idle game, I came up with a few features so the original puzzle could be played forever. Tiles produce coins that can be used to buy more tiles. Upgrades to make the board bigger and the merging better. Actions to delete, split and merge tiles. And a minigame where you click on a tile to upgrade it by starting with a fresh board and trying to hit a target number. I also decided that I wanted this to be on mobile because I felt mobile was the best platform for a game like this. And I wanted to try working with ads and uploading onto an app store. I wouldn't say Godot was the best engine for mobile development, but it did the job, and if I was to do a larger mobile game, I'd probably look into using Unity. After all this was done, I went to Trello and wrote down everything as a task. Apart from bugs, I tried not to add anything new to this board. There ended up being a couple of exceptions to this, but generally I managed to stick to this rule. Generally, making the game was quite simple, and by day one I had the merging mechanic down, though there weren't any animations yet. I spent most of the next day trying to get the build to work on mobile. I decided to get this out of the way quickly so I could be confident that I'd be able to upload the finished project. Getting this working involved spending quality time with my friends, Android Studio and Java. Except they aren't my friends at all. They're mean to me and I hate them. Now I have 3 versions of Java downloaded and even more versions of the Android development kit, but I don't know how many because that would require me to open Android Studio again, and I don't want to give it the satisfaction. In fact, to this day, I haven't been able to open my game in Android Studio thanks to this error. Luckily, I managed to get Godot to build a working APK that I could run on my phone straight from the editor, which was really nice. The first time it ran, the game was so small I couldn't really see it, but it was running on mobile, and that was enough for me, so I went to bed. This was the day where I officially finished my game. I'd added all the features I'd originally planned and set up features like saving, upgrades and adverts. With the ads, my intention wasn't really to irritate the user into paying for something, but more to try them out. There's a plugin for AdMob on Godot, which I used, and it was actually really easy to set up. I added 2 kinds of ads, a banner at the bottom of the minigame, and rewards to refresh the player's actions. After I put in ads, the money started rolling in, and not to brag, but as of today, I'm already at 9p. That means in only 6 years I'll be able to get my first payout. On day 4 I was mostly working on polish as well as a non-interactive tutorial and an option menu where the player can reset their save and see links to the assets I used. I also added a Discord link in case anyone wanted to give me feedback. The reason I did a non-interactive tutorial was just to save time. It's definitely the least polished part of the game, but doing a good one would have probably taken the same amount of time as the rest of the game, so I've left it out for now. The game also acquired one unintended feature, which is that when you merge more than 2 tiles, the result gains an extra level for each tile merged. This is caused by the fact that tiles play an animation before they are deleted, so the upgrade doesn't happen immediately, but I felt it added an extra level of strategy, so I left it in. Now I had a finished game, so it was time to upload it to the Play Store. I was sure that wouldn't take too long. The first stage for uploading something to the Play Store is filling in lots of forms about what your game is and who the target audience is. This bit's simple but time consuming. Next you move on to the internal testing where you get a private link for approved testers. I spent a couple of hours at this stage before moving on to the closed testing. The next stage is closed testing, where you have to find 12 people who are both willing to download your app and have an Android phone. This took quite a while, but I managed it and I got some really useful feedback from it. My testers found a few bugs and lots of typos. I also found out that there are a lot more measures of success in my game than I expected, so some people thought they were winning when they were really early game scrubs. Obviously I can't let them get away with this undeserved feeling of satisfaction, so along with the bug fixing I plan on adding a bit more fanfare when you get the new highest tile so it's clear that that's what you're aiming for. There's also some balancing that I need to work on because the offline gains are far too strong. I plan on reducing the multiplayer and offline time so that the players have to log in slightly more often. Once 12 testers have signed up, there's a 14-day wait before an app can be released to the public. If you see this video early and fancy trying my game before the full release, join my Discord and I can make you a tester. I don't really have any strong plans to work on this game once I've fixed the bugs and got the balance to a place where I'm happy, but I'll probably come back to it every so often if I have an idea I want to add. I'm very happy that I managed to make a game in a short period of time, and I definitely recommend trying something like this because I learnt a lot. That's all for now, thanks for watching.